Secure autonomous adults are able to give a balanced account of their attachment history and show respect and appreciation for their caregivers even if they had negative experiences. To make more define attachment, briefly describe the adult attachment style. Attachment is a special emotional relationship that involves an exchange of comfort, care, and pleasure. Attachment is a special Attachment is a special emotional relationship that involves exchange of comfort, care, and pleasure. Attachment is a special emotional relationship. Attachment is a special emotional relationship. Attachment is a special emotional relationship that involves an exchange of comfort, care, and pleasure. Wait a minute. Attachment is a special emotional relationship that involves an exchange of comfort, care, and pleasure. Attachment is a special relation. Attachment is a special emotional relationship that involves an exchange of comfort, care, and pleasure. Adult attachment style. Hazen and Shaver 1987. Hazen and Shaver 1987. Secure attachment. Secure adults are comfortable with intimacy and dependence and have a positive view of themselves and others. They are able to trust, love, and communicate effectively with their partners. They are also able to cope with separation and loss without excessive stress or anxiety. Hazen and Shaver, 1987. Hazen and Shaver, 1987. Secure adults are comfortable with intimacy and dependence and have a positive view of themselves and others. They are able to trust, love, and communicate effectively with their partners. They are also able to cope with separation and loss without excessive stress or anxiety. Avoidant adults. Avoidance adults. Avoidance adults are uncomfortable with intimacy and dependence, have a negative view of others. They tend to be reliant, independent, and emotionally distant from their partners. Avoidant adults are uncomfortable with intimacy and dependence, have a negative view of others. যেহেতু তারা অ্যাভয়েডেন্ট তারা হচ্ছে অ্যাভয়েড করবে, তাহলে তারা অ্যাভয়েডেন্ট অ্যাডাল্টস যারা থাকবে তারা আনকমফোর্টেবল উইথ ইন্টিমেসি অ্যান্ড ডিপেন্ডেন্স, হ্যাভ এ নেগেটিভ ভিউ অফ আদার্স। তাদের নেগেটিভ ভিউ থাকার কারণেই তারা মূলত অন্যদেরকে অ্যাভয়েড করবে। অ্যাভয়েডেন্ট তাহলে হচ্ছে নেগেটিভ ভিউ অফ আদার্স, they tend to be self-reliant, independent, and emotionally distant from their partners. They tend to be self-reliant, and emotionally distant from their partners. They are also reluctant to commit, disclose, or depend on others in relationship. They are also reluctant to commit, disclose, or depend on others in relationship. সিকিউর অ্যাভয়েডেন্ট হচ্ছে তারা হচ্ছে যে অ্যাভয়েড করবে। Self-dependent avoidant adults are uncomfortable with intimacy and dependence and have negative view of themselves and others. They are self-dependent and emotionally distant from their partner. Anxious ambivalent যেহেতু তারা anxious about intimacy and dependence, anxious about intimacy and dependence, have negative view of themselves. They tend to be needy. Negative view of themselves, যেহেতু তারা anxious তাহলে নিজেদের প্রতি তাদের negative view of themselves থাকবে। anxious ambivalent anxious about intimacy and dependence, have negative view of themselves. They tend to be needy, clingy, and insecure in relationships. Anxious about intimacy and dependence, have negative view of themselves. যেহেতু anxious তাদের have negative themselves. They tend to be needy, clingy, and insecure. In relationship. They also prone jealousy, possessiveness, and fear of rejection. Main and Goldwyn 1984 and 1998 attachment history সম্পর্কে এটা থাকবে আমাদের। সিকিউর অটোনোমাস অ্যাডাল্টস একটু আগে আমরা পড়ছি সিকিউর অ্যাভয়েডেন্ট এনজিয়াস। তার মধ্যে সিকিউর যারা ছিল তারা হচ্ছে ইন্টিমেসি এবং ডিপেন্ডেন্স সম্পর্কে সিকিউর ছিল, নিজেদের সম্পর্কে। They have a positive view of themselves and others, able to trust and communicate effectively with their partners. Avoidant আমরা পড়লাম যে they have negative view of others. They are distant from their partners and self-dependent. Uncomfortable avoidant হচ্ছে যে uncomfortable with intimacy and dependence, have a negative view of others. They tend to self-reliant, independent, and emotionally distant from partners. তারপর হচ্ছে anxious about intimacy and dependence, have negative view of themselves. They tend to be needy, clingy, and insecure in relationship. ইনসিকিউর ইন রিলেশনশিপ, পসেসিভনেস এবং জেলাসি, যেহেতু তারা অ্যাংশাস তাহলে পসেসিভনেস এবং জেলাসি থাকবে। ম্যান অ্যান্ড গোল্ডউইন 1984 অ্যান্ড 1998 বলছে অ্যাটাচমেন্ট হিস্ট্রির কথা হিসেবে বলেছে সিকিউর অটোনোমাস অ্যাডাল্টস আর অ্যাবল টু গিভ এ ব্যালেন্সড account of their attachment history. Balanced account of their attachment history. Secure autonomous adults are secure autonomous adults are able to give a balance and autonomous balance and balanced and balanced account of their attachment history and show respect and appreciation for their caregivers, even if they have negative experiences. এটা হচ্ছে আমাদের সিকিউর অটোনোমাস যারা থাকতেছে। দে ভ্যালু অ্যাটাচমেন্ট রিলেশনশিপ অ্যান্ড হ্যাভ পজিটিভ ভিউ অফ দেমসেলভস অ্যান্ড আদার। ডিসমিসিং অ্যাডাল্টসের ক্ষেত্রে থাকবে minimize or deny the importance। যেহেতু ডিসমিসিং অ্যাডাল্টস তারা হচ্ছে যে ডিসমিস করে দিতে চাইবে। ডিসমিসিং অ্যাডাল্টস হচ্ছে minimize or deny the importance of their attachment history and often idealize their caregivers। এখানে হচ্ছে যে idealize their caregivers, tend to minimize or deny the effect of minimize or deny the importance of their attachment history and often idealize their caregivers without providing a specific evidence. They may claim to have no or few memories of childhood. They tend to be self-reliant and avoidant of intimacy। যেহেতু হচ্ছে এখানে dismissing adults তাহলে tend to be self-reliant and avoidant of intimacy থাকবে। preoccupied adults তারা হচ্ছে যে preoccupied থাকে tend to give হচ্ছে confused and inconsistent account of their attachment tend to give confused and inconsistent account of their attachment history tend to give confused and inconsistent account of their attachment history and often express anger and positivity anger and positivity to caregivers they may be preoccupied with past harm and injustices and have difficulty moving on। preoccupied যারা থাকে তারা ফার্স্ট ঘটনার প্রতি এতটাই অকুপাইড থাকে যে তাদের পক্ষে মুভ অন করাটা হচ্ছে যে কষ্টসাধ্য হয়ে যায়। preoccupied তারপর হচ্ছে disorganized and হচ্ছে যে unresolved and disorganized adults যারা থাকে তাদের মধ্যে হচ্ছে show signs of disorientation confusion fear when discuss traumatic events or loss in their attachment history, tend to have difficulty regarding emotion regulation and behavior in regulating emotion and behavior in relationship। রাশেদুল ইসলাম। আলহামদুলিল্লাহ, আই এম ফাইন। আপনি কেমন আছেন? Two most important topic of psychology: correlation and regression. If change in one variable appears to be accompanied by a change in the another variable, the two variables are said to be correlated, and this interdependence is called correlation or covariation. In short, the tendency of simultaneous variation between two variables is called correlation. For example, there may exist a relationship between height and weight of a group of students. Define attachment. Briefly describe adult attachment. Hassan and Schaefer 1997. Secure attachment. Avoidant. Avoidant হচ্ছে uncomfortable with intimacy and dependence. Intimacy and dependence have negative view of others. They tend to be self-reliant, independent, and emotionally distant from their partners. Are also they are also reluctant. They are also reluctant to comment, disclose, or depend on others. Anxious avoidant adults are anxious about intimacy and dependence. Have negative view of others, have negative view of themselves. They tend to be needy, clingy, and insecure in relationship, and they are also prone to jealousy, possessiveness, and fear of rejection. Maryland Goodwin হচ্ছে secure autonomous adults are able to give a balanced account for their attachment history and show respect and appreciation for their caregivers even if they have negative experiences. They value attachment relationship and have positive view of themselves and other. Dismissing adults tend to minimize or deny the importance of their attachment history and often idealize their caregivers without providing specific evidence. They may claim to have no or few memories of their childhood. They tend to be self-reliant and avoidant of intimacy. Preoccupied adults tend to give confused and inconsistent account of their Preoccupied adults tend to give inconsistent and confused and inconsistent account of their attachment history. They often express anger. এখানে হচ্ছে যে আমাদের প্রিঅকুপাইড অ্যাডাল্টস যারা তাদের মধ্যে হচ্ছে যে অ্যাঙ্গার থাকবে, আর যারা হচ্ছে ডিসমিসিং তাদের মধ্যে অ্যাঙ্গার থাকবে না। They often express anger or positivity towards caregivers. They may be preoccupied with past harm and injustices and have have difficulty moving on. Preoccupied others এরপরে হচ্ছে they tend to depend and insecure in relationship than to depend and insecure. তারপর হচ্ছে যে unresolved and disorganized adults show confusion and fear when discussing traumatic events. Show what's the signs of confusion, fear, disorientation, confusion, fear when discussing traumatic events and losses in their attachment history, tend to have difficulty regulating their emotion and behavior in relationship. Positive psychology is known as the science of human flourishing. Positive psychology is known as the science of human flourishing, the search for human satisfaction and contentment that's within everyone's reach. Positive psychology is the science of human flourishing. Positive psychology is the science of human flourishing, the search for human satisfaction and contentment that's within everyone's reach. Positive psychology is the science of human flourishing, the search for human satisfaction and contentment that's within everyone's reach. Positive psychology is the scientific study of human flourishing and an applied approach to optimal functioning. Positive psychology is the science of human flourishing and an applied field of optimal functioning and applied approach to an applied approach to optimal functioning It has been defined. It has also been defined as the virtues that enables virtues and study of strengths, defined as the study of strengths and virtues that enables individuals, communities, and organizations to thrive. 2025. Then Hazan and Shiver হচ্ছে secure attachment, avoidant attachment, secure attachment, avoidant attachment, anxious attachment. হাসান এন্ড শেফার একটা হচ্ছে মেইন অ্যান্ড গুডউইনের হচ্ছে সিকিউর অটোনমাস, তারপরে হচ্ছে আমাদের দুই হচ্ছে ডিসমিসিং সিকিউর অটোনমাস, secure autonomous dismissing, preoccupied, secure autonomous dismissing, and also idealize dismissing, and also হচ্ছে যে idealize করার, এরা হচ্ছে যে they may preoccupied with past events, express anger and passivity. তারপর হচ্ছে আমাদের আনরিজলভড অ্যান্ড ডিসঅর্গানাইজড অ্যাডাল্ট। এখানে হচ্ছে 4 রকম আনরিজলভড অ্যান্ড ডিসঅর্গানাইজড অ্যাডাল্টস। ওখানে হচ্ছে আমাদের 3 রকমের হাজান, এটা হচ্ছে আমাদের কি ছিল, হাজান অ্যান্ড শেভারের হচ্ছে 3টা, ম্যান অ্যান্ড গুলডউইনের হচ্ছে 4টা। হাজান অ্যান্ড শেভারের হচ্ছে আমাদের সিকিউর, অ্যাভয়েডেন্ট, এনজিয়াস। আর এটা হচ্ছে আমাদের সিকিউর অটোনোমাস, dismissing, preoccupied, secure autonomous dismissing, preoccupied, disorganized, and হচ্ছে যে unresolved and disorganized। এর মধ্যে সিকিউর অটোনোমাস তারা হচ্ছে যে they can express their attachment history, coherent and balanced expression বা coherent, are able to give balanced account of their attachment history, are able to give balanced account of their attachment history, and show respect and appreciation to their caregivers, show respect and appreciation to their caregivers, even if they had negative experiences, and they value the attachment, show respect and value the attachment of the caregivers, respect and appreciation, able to give balance approach, dismissing and restraint to minimize the importance of their attachment, and often idealize their caregivers without providing a specific evidence. They may claim to have no or few memories of their childhood. They tend to be self-reliant and avoidant of intimacy, preoccupied adults হচ্ছে যে with confused and preoccupied থাকলে অবশ্যই confused থাকবে, inconsistent account of their attachment history. They often express anger and passivity towards caregiver. They may be preoccupied with past events. They tend to be dependent and insecure in relationship, unresolved disorganized, show signs of disorientation, confusion, fear when discussing confusion and fear when discussing traumatic loss events. আপনার হচ্ছে ডিসঅর্গানাইজের ক্ষেত্রে হচ্ছে ট্রমাটিক ইভেন্ট করার সময় তারা হচ্ছে ডিসওরিয়েন্টেশন, কনফিউশন এবং ফিয়ার, তারা যখন ট্রমাটিক ইভেন্ট বর্ণনা করবে, losses in their attachment history, discussing the traumatic event or losses in their attachment history. They show signs of disorientation, fear, and confusion. Disorientation, fear, confusion. When traumatic events or loss in their attachment history tend to have difficulty regulating emotion and behavior in relationship. That's all for today. Hope you enjoy the reading session. We'll come live soon again for getting the live notification. Subscribe the channel and press the bell icon. Then you will get the notification whenever I come live again. If you enjoyed today's live session, study with me, then you can subscribe the channel and press the bell icon for live notification to get the notification whenever I come live again. I have some more to study. I will cut the live and then complete the rest of my studies. We'll meet soon. Subscribe the channel for get the notification for my next live. Allah Hafiz.